Hello everyone and welcome. This is Dr. Heather coming to you live from my office here in Overland Park, Kansas. If you are brand new to Ask Dr. Heather, this is a place where you actually can ask your questions, and I work very hard to find the tools and resources to help answer those questions so you can act on those and actually achieve the health goals that you want. So Nicole, thanks for joining me, and wherever you're coming from, let me know and say hello where you're coming from. Know that this is meant to be shared. This is a super common question that I've been getting lately, because 20 years ago when we were teaching keto and low carb, no one would even have a word about it. Now there's thousands of millions of people actually attempting and trying a low carb ketogenic lifestyle, and they're listening to their bodies. So constipation is something that happens quite often to people who are even not on a ketogenic diet. So there are about 4 or 5 major reasons why you can experience constipation while you're trying to transition into a fat adapted body or a fat burning machine called being in the state of ketosis. So let's just start with number 1. And no, you can swipe and share this right now. You don't have to wait till it's over. So again, thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for all your wonderful questions. As promised today, constipation. Number 1, why can you be getting constipated on a low carb, high fat ketogenic diet? Think of this for a minute. We talk about a campfire all the time about how energy works in our body. So glucose is that kindling that only lasts about 30 minutes, the big hot logs that burn for several hours, or the fats and some of that protein that burns. So if we're taking away the stimulants out of your diet, so if we're taking away things like soda that are stimulants that contain a lot of caffeine, or bread that doesn't even have to be broken down, you can just mush it and it'll pass right through your body. But as you're taking away those stimulants and not feeding your body 6 to 7 times a day, then we're actually going to have the bowels slow down. So number 1 is because you're changing fuel sources. You're going from garbage, which is processed, broken down, bleached, enriched, whatever you want to call it, into eating whole, real food. So can be a number 1 reason is simply because you're taking away the stimulants out of your diet. Number 2, there can definitely be hidden food allergies. We touched on this yesterday, but if you're putting stuff in your body that your body's trying to break down time and time again, so maybe you ate something this morning like eggs, which is a top allergen, or maybe you had cheese on top of your eggs, dairy's a top allergen as well. You're putting foods in there that your body can't break down. It will sit in your stomach until the body can break it down, because there's lots of different things that happen from the mouth to the toilet. So it could be some hidden food allergies. Oftentimes people start eating a ton of nuts, which are great for your body. However, it can cause some constipation. We're supposed to chew our food 50 times each bite, and I know that we don't do that. Do your own home study and see how many times you actually chew your food. And oftentimes when digestion, again, the first place is your mouth, begins in there, we're not chewing it enough, we're putting stuff in our body that it can't break down, it makes sense it's going to get stuck there. Number 3, we know about poor digestion. People are missing gallbladders. Gallbladders help emulsify fats, even the best fats like olives and avocados. So if that's happening to you, then use more seeds than nuts. So more sunflower seeds, things like hemp seeds, flax seed, those type of things, over processed foods like salamis, deli meat, even some of the cheeses that come in the red and the blue packages that aren't really real cheese, or just, I don't know, modified pretend dairy. So when you start switching stuff, seeds are much more digestible. They're great for helping your body. So whether it's flax or chia or hemp, I just happen to have hemp at the office. Think of seeds more than using the processed cheeses and fats, and use olive oil instead of the olives, or avocado oil or sesame seed oil instead of the seeds, especially if you have a history of diverticulitis. So poor digestion can also happen. Number 1, not chewing our food. Number 2, the stomach dumps in B12. If you have a methylation issue, we know that B12 helps break down proteins and carbohydrates in the stomach. That can be an issue, as well as that you just don't have enough B12. Also, hydrochloric acid is super important for the stomach. It dumps in all this acid, which emulsifies our food. That's what the job of the stomach is. It's just to help churn it, so make it like that baby food form, so to speak. Because again, if we're supposed to chew it 50 times, our stomach's supposed to dump in a bunch of acid. If our stomach's been carb adapted, we know that the pH can be off. If you have underlying diseases like Epstein-Barr or any type of virus or candida, we know that we often find a deficiency in hydrochloric acid. If you don't have enough acid in the stomach, it won't break it apart or emulsify it, so it really moves slowly over the gallbladder. And then if you're missing the gallbladder, I have probably 7 different enzymes for gallbladder, from ochrapepsin to AF-beta food to lysyme lipase formula, lots of different things we use, cholesterol that can be used if you're missing a gallbladder to help add in those extra salts. And also we know that non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, livers are sick these days. I'm getting emails all the time. Why are my enzymes elevated? Well, the liver is our trash can. So if we know that maybe we're not chewing our food, we don't have enough B12 or have a methylation issue, if we're deficient in hydrochloric acid or have an underlying virus, or we don't have our gallbladder, maybe you don't have your pancreas, maybe you've had part of your colon removed, it makes sense. It's not going to pass like it should, and you could potentially get constipation. Also, hydration. This could probably be number 1, 2, and 3, and 4. We know ketones are an amazing diuretic. It helps pull water out of fat cells. So as we start to pull water out of fat cells, we know the major function of the large intestine is to get ready for evacuation and reabsorb water. So if you're actually transitioning from a carbohydrate diet to a fat-adapted diet, we often are not drinking enough water, or the body's burning into ketones or making ketones, the liver's going out and grabbing them, that we're honestly not drinking enough water. Major function of the small intestine is to reabsorb nutrients. Large intestine, get ready for evacuation and reabsorb water. So if you're dehydrated, I know it's hot all over the country right now, it makes sense that you could potentially get some constipation. So those are my top 4 reasons why people could actually have some constipation on a ketogenic diet. The 5th one, which is kind of a little bonus one, is actually stress. I've tried to do the ketogenic diet on and off. I'm on a ketogenic diet now. I have overstressed myself trying to make sure what markers are turning, what the level is, what did I eat, why am I in ketosis today, why did the level go down, why is it up? And this was honestly more stress prior to 2015. Once we got exogenous ketones, it made my transition much easier. But in 2014, I was definitely in a ketogenic diet, and there would be times where I didn't sleep well enough, or I had too much stress at work, or relationship stress, or mad at my cat or something, and that stress would actually cause my body to go out of ketosis because the cortisol level would be flip-flopped. So that would also affect the transition of the colon, because we know when we have stress, we actually help contract our colon, which can slow down and cause constipation. So stress can absolutely be one. So just to review those, number 1, you're going from a very high stimulant processed carbohydrate diet to a clean and green fat diet that will slow down bowel movement, so give your body time. Maybe there's some suspected food allergies. You started dumping a bunch of dairy or a bunch of nuts, a bunch of seeds. Maybe you're missing some part of your digestive tract, or you know it's not moving well, like you're not chewing your food, you don't have enough hydrochloric acid, underlying virus, maybe missing your gallbladder, missing part of your colon. 4, not enough hydration, so lots and lots of water. A great way to remedy that is actually having a little bit of Epsom salt with some water, warm water before you go to bed, or actually taking a nice warm Epsom salt bath as you start to get ready for bed, because we know large intestine time in the acupuncture world is 5 to 7 a.m. So our body should be evacuating in your time zone 5 to 7 a.m. and potentially 5 to 7 p.m. So those are some causes why you're transitioning or on a ketogenic diet, why you could potentially getting constipation. What are the remedies? Number 1, write down your foods and start tracking your bowels, what they look like, what the shape is, what the color is, all that kind of stuff. And you'll actually start being your own detective and say, you know what, I'm overeating nuts. I'm definitely not chewing my food. I'm eating on the go. I definitely have stress. I definitely started dumping in a bunch of dairy, or I definitely know I'm not drinking enough water. So just start tracking those and write that down, and you're going to find some amazing information when you start being your own detective on helping getting your bowels moving. There are things you can do. We talked about switching up hemp seeds, flax seeds, nuts. Rotating your foods will also help, so not having eggs every morning for breakfast or chicken every night for dinner. I also had some greens, I think, are over here. I was just going to grab those out, but some whole food greens can also help. If you're high in estrogen, it can also cause your bowels to be slowed down, so even hormones can play a part in that. But again, let's keep it super simple. Why am I getting constipation on a ketogenic diet? Review the facts that we talked about, and then let me know what you find out. So just drop your answer down below, and know that this is meant to be shared. It's always about education and helping other people. This is our day 3 of our Keto Basics. I'm taking your questions that you guys are sharing with me and helping answer those. Tomorrow will be on PCOS or hormones, because I got a whole bunch of questions about that. And then fibromyalgia or inflammation is also on our list of our 10 days, so stay tuned for that. Again, please feel free to share this. You can swipe it, you can add a person's name. Let me know where you're coming from. I always like to know what time of day is best to help reach out to everybody. Sometimes it's just when I have time. My patient's here a few minutes early, so I am going to jump off. I love hearing your questions. Let me know what you want to know more about on your keto life or your keto transition. I have a ton of recipes on AskDrHeather.net, so if you're brand new, the link at the top, you can simply click on that and subscribe for free, and you can download your free guide to kickstart your day in the right right way, and let me know again what you're looking for. There should be over 1,000 recipes there, and I keep it super simple. As a mom of 4, working mom, know that I want to keep my stress low, so I keep my cooking super simple and make sure you rotate your food. So again, have a great day. Let me know what you find as your health detective, what you find could be causing your constipation, and share with us. We all want to know. Again, if we need to come back and visit this, we'll absolutely do it. If you need more tips, again, oftentimes it's pretty easy once you start writing it down and figure out, well, when it's moving and when it's not moving. You guys have a great day, and you'll be hearing from me soon.